Among the MAGAs, a lack of education is common, leading to a limited understanding of the world around them. This undereducation fuels their reliance on misinformation and conspiracy theories as they struggle to differentiate fact from fiction in their environment.
From the anthropological lens, right? We've already established that anthropology is the study of human beings. The study of human beings as biological beings, as linguistic beings, as cultural beings. First of all, the field of anthropology is very white dominated. It almost always has been. Most anthropologists are generally interested in studying human beings in their most natural environments. That usually means that their focus of attention is on human beings that are indigenous, that live in the wild somewhere, that are kind of separated from the notions of civility and sovereignty that we know of in the developed, globalized world. And so a number of the anthropologists that you see on the screen, Napoleon Chagnon, Jacques Lizotte, Kenneth Good, for example, these are anthropologists who kind of hit the height of their career around the late 80s, early 90s, where they would go and study and build relationships with the Yanomami people. They would write lots of publications, create documentaries about these people, and try to educate the Western audiences about their perspectives and their engagement with these indigenous people. Between Kenneth Good and Napoleon Chagnon, there was this kind of ongoing battle about the ways that they're writing about these people. Napoleon Chagnon would often use language that characterized these people as like savages of the bush, mischaracterizing their humanity in a way that would certainly appeal to your typical racist Western audience, but might draw ethical problems if they ever caught on to the kinds of language that was being used to describe them. And so collectively, there was an unspoken assumption, an implicit assumption with regard to a lot of these researchers going into the Amazon to study these groups of people. Do you know what that unspoken assumption is?
That they're like inferior to them, or they're different than them in a way?
Perhaps an unspoken assumption would be to some extent they're inferior, but let's draw attention to the scholars themselves. What might most people be assuming about these scholars? Science strives to be objective, and the unspoken assumption was that by virtue of just being white men, their assessments of these native people is like objective, and it's free from error, free from bias. It began to draw interest and attention. Well, what if we turned anthropology on the white scholar? What if instead of anthropology simply being studying indigenous black and brown people, what if we use the same tools and techniques to then study what it means to even be white?